Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. Content is intended to provide accurate information, however, is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult a financial, legal, or tax professional for specific information regarding your individual situation. Opinions expressed and provided are for general informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security.
Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland's certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, president and founder of TJ Stearns Inc., Chicagoland area savers and investors, your resource for a common sense approach to uncomplicating the financial world. Guidance, perspective, experienced, qualified, your resource. If you have questions or concerns about your investments, your retirement accounts, and planning for your financial future, is Tim Stearns. And Tim, we always appreciate your time and perspective here on the program.
Peter, I'm glad to be here. There's a lot to talk about today.
Indeed, there always is a lot to talk about in the financial world with you, Tim. Get your take on things. But today, maybe answering the quintessential question, the one most commonly asked, I think, which is, how much do I need to retire? Is there a great way for savers and investors to know or have a confident answer to this question?
We see this a lot. People come to us and ask us, what do I have enough money? Is the bottom line is, and until you really do a plan, I don't think you really know that. You can have a guesstimate, but you should never work in the guesstimate area when you come to your retirement. You want to be working in the know, and by know I mean KNOW, where you have the knowledge that you are able to retire. I'm a member on different message boards, and I see people that are talking about, asking, do I have enough? Do I not have enough? What's going on? One nice thing with an income allocation plan, you have a plan. If things change, which we've seen a lot of that since 2020 when the pandemic started, people coming to us going, life is short, I want to get out. Or now people are actually, because of inflation in the market, not cooperating with what they had. And they took a pass on us doing a plan for them. Now they're coming back to the table because they're worried that, everyone thought this market was going to be forever and ever, and it hasn't been. We've seen this.
Yeah. And I think having that plan, Tim, is really what's going to give us confidence, whether the market is up, down, sideways, or whether we go through several of those cycles. Having that plan in place is what's going to allow us to maintain some sanity and level head through those different and various times. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to get your Protect and Grow plan, your written plan for retirement put together with the help of a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns CFP does make the offer for Chicagoland area savers and investors to have that conversation, to get answers to your questions, to get that comprehensive plan put together. Just for being a listener to this program, he offers that with no cost, no obligation. All you need to do is pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. I'm going to ask this in a couple ways, Tim. I think a lot of people think about retirement in terms of an age. Once I get to such and such age, 62, 65, 70 years old, I am going to retire. Will any age really tell us if we are financially prepared to face and get through retirement confidently?
Well, I'll go at that a different way, and that is that you need to do a plan to know when that is. We've had people come in here and go, you know what? Try it at age 70. Okay, that worked. Try it at age 65. Okay, that kind of worked. Maybe I need to do a little bit more into my 401k, what have you. Or even try it at age 62 and it works for them. Well, then they're working because they want to, which is a great option to have, that you're going in because you actually enjoy your job. So that being said, I think the ability to do a plan that's dynamic makes us heads and shoulders above our competition, because you're able to actually know that you can go home because you don't want to be there anymore. And I think a lot of people since the pandemic have figured out, you know what? I want to spend a little more time with my grandkids, my wife, my friends. and not so much time at work, So I think that's a big thing.
Being able to show up kind of on your own terms because you want to rather than because you have to, Tim,
Right.
adds a whole level of enjoyment and satisfaction to life. And we know it's not all about punching the clock and working and building up the largest lump sum, but we want to have the confidence to be able to enjoy that retirement. So asking that a second way, Tim, is a lump sum number, $1 million, 1.5 million, $2 million, really going to indicate whether or not we are truly prepared for a confident retirement?
Well, what we tell people is give us your budget, give us what your hopes and dreams are. Do you want to leave a legacy for the kids? Do you want to maybe move somewhere warmer? Do you what other things, philanthropy, et cetera? And then we can figure that out from there. So that's a big thing is to know what your budget is kind of the starting point as to whether you're going to be able to retire. And that amount, $1 million for someone might be enough. If you live extravagantly or what have you, you might need a heck of a lot more money than that. So these are all things that need to go in there. And I'm marveled at the fact that 1 out of 10 Americans have a written income plan. If you're going to go into retirement blind like that, and then the market takes a correction like it's been doing here at 20%, I'd be pretty concerned. I just was reading the average American has about $131,000 in their 401ks, according to Vanguard. So, and a lot of us don't have pensions anymore. So now what?
We need to have that plan put together, and whether we have a ways to go or whether or not we are ready and prepared already really can be determined by that plan. And ladies and gentlemen, Tim Stearns, CFP, can help you put that plan together, crunch the numbers, run the formulas, better understand the budget and expenses and how your portfolio is going to generate enough cash flow for you to cover those expenses. All you need to do is set up that complimentary review and that retirement planning strategy session and get that plan in writing. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. Tim, budget is kind of that 4-letter word in the financial world, if you catch my drift. People don't love the budget. And it's also one of those things I would say is a bit of a lost art, right? We've got those things that people used to do all the time that these days, because of modern technology, because of the ease and convenience, and maybe because we have been lucky or hardworking or blessed enough to make an ample income that covers our expenses, more and more, or less and less rather, I think people are ignoring the budget, not conducting a budget, maybe not paying as much attention as they should. But when we leave the paycheck behind, it really is going to become paramount once again in knowing and controlling how long our money is going to last.
We tell people, if you're thinking about retiring, come see us, because we're happy to run an income allocation plan for you to see if it's feasible, And what I've noticed is, usually a husband or the wife are in charge of finances, and usually not both. And one of them's completely in the dark, whether it be the husband or the wife. And so they don't know what their true budget is. And, if God forbid something happened to one of them, what would that look like? It'd be not very good look. So doing a budget where they're both involved in it and showing what they're bringing in and what's going out the door, I find that it makes people feel better about whether they can retire or cannot, and how much longer they have to work at. We go very, very conservative on our plans, because we don't want to tell them, oh, we're going to make you X amount per year, and the market doesn't perform like that. That's why you have to have some fixed income component of that, maybe an annuity, maybe a dividend plus fund that would pay out monthly income. But the thing we ask people is, right now it's July, you retire now, where's your next check come from in August? What does that look like? If the market does a downturn, how much is that going to affect your retirement?
Well, again, we need to work in the know, KNOW, have some certainty. And that is the planning process. If you would like to put that written retirement income plan together with the help of a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, does make his time available to you. All you need to do is pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And Tim, while there is no universal answer to that question of how much is enough to retire that's going to apply to everyone, for anyone in particular, for a specific saver, investor, individual, couple, you can run through some math and really come up with a pretty good answer on how much is needed. And that is a mathematical process that you run through as part of that income allocation planning design.
Right. And it's a process, we always tell people, if you give us, it's garbage in, garbage out, like they used to say with computers, basically what I'm saying is if they give us good numbers and we have, we analyze what their portfolio looks like, we can give them a great plan that's succinct to what they're trying to accomplish. At the end of the day, that's what they need to have in hand to say, hey, boss, I'm done. I'm not working anymore. And we're seeing over 5% of the people that retired during the pandemic are going back to work because they didn't figure on the market correcting. They didn't figure on, 8.6% in inflation, et cetera. These are all the different reasons that people who did not have a plan are now going back to work. And, you have one shot at an ideal retirement, and no one wants to go back to their boss hat in hand and say, hey, guess what? I need to come back here. And the guy might have already filled your position, or the lady might tell you to, go pound sand. They don't need you. So either way, make sure that you do it right. Like you talk about, and I talk about, the carpenter always measures twice, cut once. That's the whole idea here.
Yeah. Only one shot at that ideal retirement. It makes that much more of a scary proposition, because we really only get that one shot. That ideal retirement is something that we all shoot for, but so many factors go into that, Tim. So the process in planning, the income allocation design that is put together, you really are going to do quite a bit of measuring and fine tuning to hone that plan in and let somebody know with confidence that they do have enough to retire.
Right. The bottom line is, what kind of assets are you working with? We're finding a lot of people are way more exposed to stocks and equities than they meant to be. And now they're scrambling back to come see us. These are people that attended our retirement classes, our seminars, or listened on the radio. They're realizing that, the market, the euphoric feeling that they had at the end of 2021 is not, it's gone. I might use the word panicked, that they're coming back to us and saying, hey, can we take another visit at this? Make sure that we have it right so that we can actually know if we can retire or not.
Tim, I heard a story, kind of an analogy here. I know you talk about how a lot of people's plans are based on assumptions or kind of projections for averages. The story that I heard that I thought was apropos, it's a pretty perfect analogy, is if we're on, let's say, safari, and I am the safari guide, and we get to this wide river, and I say, hey, we've got to cross this river, but don't worry, the average depth is only 2 feet. Are you going to be satisfied with that information about the average depth of the water? Or are you going to be more worried and concerned with, well, what's the deepest part? The average may be 2 feet, but what's the deepest part of the river going to be? And I feel like a lot of people in their financial outlook, in their plan and projection for their financial future, are relying on that average without ever asking that important question, well, what's the deepest part of the river?
Right. And one of the things that we kid around about in class, but it has a good point to it, is, I asked someone in class, hey, John, I'm a carpenter and I'm going to come to you. I'm going to redo your kitchen, and you ask, well, I want some pricing. I want some blueprints to see what you're going to do. And I say, no, we're just going to wing it. Would you go with me? And everyone in the class, admittedly says, absolutely not. I would never sign up for that.
Yeah, I bet you get a couple chuckles.
Yes, but we're seeing this with people in retirement. I think that I'm going to be okay. And then this market gets topsy-turvy because of stuff over in Ukraine. Inflation goes on a tangent that no one saw coming. So these are reasons that we need to kind of battle down and make sure that we understand where we're at, and whether we need to retire because of our health, physically, mentally, or if you're going to need to work some more years because guess what? You don't have enough money because you just lost a bunch in the market that you thought was going to go on and on and on upward. And it doesn't do that.
Once again, if you would like to have a portfolio review, a detailed forensic financial analysis, a comprehensive planning strategy session, a written retirement income plan, pick up the phone and give Tim Stearns, CFP, a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. You've given us a couple building analogies, Tim, the old carpentry saying, measure twice, cut once, the builder coming in without a blueprint. Another practical fundamental of really building any kind of structure is that the foundation needs to be pretty solid. You've got to have a well put together foundation in order to build a stable structure. Now, when we talk about generating enough income in retirement, I know there are a lot of different options out there. There are some with the possibility and the opportunity for growth, but that also have risk involved. And then there are some that provide for more certainty and knowledge of what will be generated into the future. Where in that spectrum do you find building that foundation to be most predictable and to provide as much confidence for retirees as possible?
Like you said, Pete, when you're building a house, you have to have a foundation that's solid. One of the things that we'll use is a fixed index annuity, that we know that rain or shine, the market's doing whatever it's doing. It doesn't matter. My clients are receiving their payments per month, and then the market can do its own thing. And you're not taking from a portfolio that's taken a hit. So foundation wise, I would say a fixed index annuity is a great way to go. Not all annuities are created equal. They're not right for everybody. I'll say that right away. But, it's a great way to start it if you want to get into retirement, that the market be darned, you're not going to worry what it's doing. Because, on the 15th or whatever day you choose, you're getting a check from the insurance company that gets your bills paid, so that you're not locking in losses as you take out from a portfolio that's losing.
So, Tim, would you feel comfortable and confident saying that your retirement number is less about lump sum, it's less about age, and it's more about how much income you can depend on?
I think it's the most important part is, let's boil it down real fast. What do you need to do? Pay your bills, and how are you going to do it? You want to go through a safe vehicle. The last thing I'd want to do if I'm 70 something years old is worry if I have enough money for my mortgage because my crypto or my tech stocks have taken a hit. I mean, that stuff's insane. I would not sleep well at night if I were in those shoes. That's why having an income allocation plan will involve some kind of a fixed income portion that's paying the bills, and then a growth bucket that, the only way you're going to stay up with inflation is having some exposure to the stock market. I'm not opposed to the stock market, but then you have to be very careful about what you're actually investing in. And that's some fly-by-night thing that you heard about from a guy down the street type of stuff. We go with the bellwether companies, that we really enjoy, like our Dividend Plus fund. It's these companies have paid a dividend over 25 years plus. Those are the things that we look for.
You've talked about the difference, Tim, in paychecks and playchecks in retirement. Is this again kind of the difference of where that income is going to come from and what it means to us as far as security and confidence in retirement and knowing that we do have enough?
Yes, exactly. I mean, every day is a Saturday when you're retired is the joke, right? But that's really kind of true. It's funny. I have a lot of clients that, have become friends over the years, and they'll turn to me and go, what's today? Because every day is Saturday to them. And that's great. But that means they also go out to eat more, play a lot more golf, all these different things that we need to make sure that we're understanding what's coming in the door, what's going out the door. When do you take your Social Security? All those things can affect your spouse. And that's why doing an income allocation plan makes for a great base of knowing how to get through an ideal retirement of 30 plus years in some cases.
Again, if you would like that income allocation plan, if you would like a written retirement income plan, pick up the phone and give Tim Stearns, CFP, a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, the difference between those without a written income plan for retirement and those with a written income plan for retirement. Can you tell a difference? Can you see that difference in how they behave, how they act, and how confident they are in retirement, especially during times like this of market uncertainty?
Well, I will say this. Over the weekend, I was with the gentleman that he has a lot of money. He's not a client, but he has a lot of money, but his account has gone down precipitously. And I don't care if you have a little or a lot, you go down 20%, you lose all that money. He was ordering something less off the menu because he's worried that he's going to run out of money. Guess what? Doesn't have a plan. Just has always hoped for the best. And that's why I'm saying having a plan that, adjusts for these times that are kind of dire, and what's going on in the world? Well, the Fed has already said that they're going to raise rates more. And, I've yet to see a stock market in my 27-year career that bodes well when they're doing that. When they're tightening up money, the market is not going to do great. And if you're going to be in the market, I would want to have stop losses and other fixed income portions that cannot lose money. So I'm paying my bills and I'm living my best life.
Tim, rather than focusing on rate of return or picking specific funds, I have heard you often talk about this retirement income planning process in terms of math and figuring out the income gap. Can you talk to us about the income gap and why that is quintessential and paramount, a priority in your retirement planning process?
Well, we have actually a sheet that I'll be happy to share with people out there. We take someone that the oldest person that minus the age that someone wants to retire. That's how many years that person will be in retirement. Then I ask them for what their yearly monthly bills times 12 are. Let's say it's $100,000. And I say, how much are you and your wife or husband making in Social Security or pensions or guaranteed money? Let's say it's $60,000. So in that example, $100,000 minus $60,000, I have a gap every year of $40,000 that I need to come up with from my portfolio. Do I get it from a fixed index annuity? I don't know. Do I get it from a dividend plus type fund? I don't know that either. But at the end of the day, it depends on people's appetite for those types of products. But you know what the gap is. It's $40,000. Where will you get that from? And if the market takes a churn of negative 20%, like we've seen, that's going to be hard to come by. You're going to have a sequence of returns risk within the portfolio, and it will affect your retirement.
Tim, as many times as we've kind of gone over that process, you've talked about the fact that most people don't have a written retirement income plan. If we have not had that conversation, if we have not gone through that process, I can't imagine that we enter into retirement feeling a great sense of confidence, regardless of what investments we may own and what that lump sum may be.
Well, I mean, psychologically, not knowing, when people don't know things, it bothers them. It irritates them. They get anxious, so why not have a plan? 1 out of 10 Americans have this plan, and that's I couldn't believe that when I heard that in February at the Center of Retirement Studies platform that I was at. At the end of the day, you need to have a plan. Not having a plan is having a plan, as they say. And the plan probably will not work out well for you, especially with the market being so crazy for the rest of this year.
And Tim, you've also talked about the fact that while many portfolios are set up and aligned to shoot for growth, as a result of the risk that they are taking in order to achieve that growth, oftentimes the amount of income that can be reliably generated is actually less.
That's exactly right. I mean, when you're putting yourself out there and, easy come, easy go, as my father used to say, When the market's doing great, it's easy money. When it's doing bad, it's tough to come by a win. That is, as you say, the bear market takes the elevator, bull market takes the stairs. That's so true. So the usual bear market's about 15 months, and it's like the frog in the boiling water. You don't realize it till it's too late, unless you have parameters in there to protect yourself. And if I'm a baby boomer out there that's about to retire or just did, I'd make sure I have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, you could be in a lot of trouble.
Tim, if anybody's worried or concerned about their portfolio, about this language that we're hearing about recession, if they would like to get that income plan put together, what's that process look like and how can they get started?
Well, we have a fillable form that they can give us a call right now, and we'll get it out to them via email. They would fill it out for us. It's not, rocket science or anything like that. It's really easy to get it back to us. And then we'd sit down with them and make sure that they understand exactly what it looks like and put it down on paper and have a blueprint for a successful retirement.
Well, if you would like to take advantage of that opportunity to have a conversation, to get that plan put together with the help of a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, is your resource, Chicagoland. Pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, always a lot to sort through, always important that we turn to you for information and guidance. And we do appreciate the perspective and the common sense information that you do provide here on Protect and Grow.
I'll say one last thing, Peter. If you're scared out there, give us a call and we'll help you get through a successful retirement.
Again, that number, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256 to reach Tim Stearns, CFP. Ask a few questions over the phone and set up a time for that convenient, complimentary, no cost, no obligation review and retirement planning strategy session. Get that written plan for retirement income. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. We'll talk to you real soon here on Protect and Grow, Chicagoland Retirement.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program on 890 WLS every Sunday at 11 a.m. and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.